Alright YouTube, Paul Martin Belts back here again for a brand new video. This, as the title says, is a comparison video between the version 1 Big Logo Replica belt and the version 2 Big Logo Replica belt. A little backstory before I go into detail. This is the version 1 produced by Figures Inc. around April-May of this year, I think it was. Around that time. This is the version 2 recently released by WWE. I'll give a quick rundown of the details, but first, the reasoning for the V2 itself is because the V1 made by Figures Inc., who were the belt makers of the WWE's replica belts for the past 10-15 years now. But WWE recently severed their ties with Figures Inc., partially because of this belt and partially because I think they wanted to produce replica belts themselves so they could get the profits completely and not have to deal with a middleman like Figures Inc. But this was one of the reasons for the partnership ending, because this belt is very inaccurate compared to the real ring used belt, and the version 2 recently released by WWE is a far better belt if you compare it to the ring used one than this. I'll go into details now. I'll start with the strap. The strap, both are very good, to be honest. Not flexibility wise but detail wise. They both follow the custom tooling that's on this belt very well. One criticism of the V2, and this is the only one compared to the V1, is that the snap box here is actually sewn on. If you can see that, this is how Figures Inc. used to make the old style replica belts with the sewn on snap boxes. It's still got tooling in it though, imitation tooling I should say, while the V1's is completely like all stamped in. And it just, big flat piece of vinyl. This is one piece and then a little piece sewn on. But the V1's imitation tooling here, it may look good at first, but it's very inaccurate. As you can see, the pattern itself has to overlap a lot here in the corners. Even there it's not very good because that should be the square in the middle of something. Yeah, here you can see it overlaps weirdly, even there a little bit. While on the V2 it is very even, very nicely done, and I can't actually say a bad thing about this tooling. Maybe it's a little bit shallow, but yeah, that's about it. Same on the other side, tooling, imitation tooling. I'll keep saying tooling, I know that. It's very clean, very even, just how you would want it to look on a simulated strap. And again, on the V1, it's a little bit deeper, but it's got the issues in the corners where it just kind of overlaps and looks terrible. If you can tell there, snap distance is wider here on the V2 than on the V1. I think this is better because it's more accurate to the ring used belt. This is a little too close. Gold tips are actually different as well. For some reason the V1 was made with a bigger gold tip. This is a standard gold tip, how they should be. The V1 by Figures Inc. had a different one. Not sure why. It's kind of pointless. But yeah, so strap, I would give it to the V2 even though it has sewn on snap boxes. It's just a superior looking product. I'll go into the side plates next. If you can tell here, I'll move them closer together like that so you can see. The colour of the plates is a little bit different. The gold colouring on the V1's a little bit deeper, but to be honest, the V2's gold colouring is actually better. It's more accurate to what real gold plating looks like. I've actually unscrewed these two plates off their straps just to give a comparison. One of the biggest gripes I have with this V1 is the fact that these two plates are separate. The real belt had it similar to this, and there we go. That was the easiest way to do that because it's a lot better. Look at that. It's just a solid piece of plate where this disc, I'll call it disc from now on, just slots into place. That's how the real one was, except the screws were on the front here, which, oh well, they never make everything perfect, but that's a lot better than this, simply because, I'll show it on the one that's still on the strap. As you can see, it sinks into the strap because these two are separate. What Figures Inc. did to combat that was insert some washers underneath it to hold it up a little higher, which made it look, I've not got the washers in right now, which made it look a little bit like that. Barely any difference. Terrible way to try and do it. Before I go any further on the plates, I want to point out My least favourite thing about the V1, simply because I'm a re-leatherer and I had to deal with it constantly, is the screws. This is a screw for the V1, this is the V2. This is perfect, this is how it should be. It's perfectly circular and it's brilliant, it doesn't catch on anything. If you look at the difference, V2, V1. The V1 screw is lopsided, really terrible. Just annoyed the hell out of me when I had to re-leather belts. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe with the V1. It's just terrible. It doesn't look good at all. V2s solve that problem. But another nice thing, if you want to compare, the V2 actually has a raised crown at the top, if it will focus. There we go. While the V1's fairly flat actually. The stones are basically the only thing that stick out on that. And the dome, the globe, sorry, is domed on this. You can tell there, well, it's flat again on this. Stones, bigger spacing here than on here, but yeah, that's pretty much the only difference with the stones. So again, I'm giving side plate quality to the V1. Only problem with that is the side plate disc screws in here under the plate with these little screws up the top here, which means if you're getting it re-leathered, backing, not even the backing, the actual leather strap would keep it here because it doesn't go through the strap. But I'm trying to think of a way to kind of make the bolts go from the front, like the real belt, and I'm having some ideas, so that might be a possibility in the future. And again, this just goes directly through the strap, where that sits like that, and that goes into place like that. So again, V2 leaps and bounds better. Before I go on to the center plate, I might as well point out the bars. The V1's terrible. I know I keep saying the V1's terrible, but it really is. As you can see, that's just really just a little dome there. It kind of just bumps up. Well, this is more accurate to the real one. The lighting's terrible right now, but if you can see, it sticks up a lot. It's like, it is an actual bar in between the plates. That's how it should be, so far better, really. And I think this, what I'm about to talk about now, is the biggest issue with the V1, and that is the whole W, basically. If you can see, this is all painted in. It's just a solid metal plate. There's no cut in between it like the real one. I'm trying to get good lighting, but you can see the shine off the paint there. And if anyone, and I think most people are familiar with how the real one looks on TV, it has a lot of tooling on the strap here, tooling basically in every area. I should point out, this is strap. All of this is, it's just the piece between the the piece between the W's and these two bits here. While on the V2, WWE have done a great job. They've gotten this all cut out, that's all strap, even in between here, the small spaces, all strap, and it looks great. And it's got the imitation tooling, which is very accurate to the real thing. But my favourite thing about it, again, as a re-leatherer, so this probably doesn't bother many people, just me, is the fact that you probably can't even see that. But the strap, if you press it, just goes down with it, and it kind of makes the W hover, which I always hated. On this, that's impossible because there's a screw behind this piece, which is fantastic. This didn't have it, this just had border screws, which were terribly positioned, I might add. This has great position screws. I think they're there, and behind that piece, which holds everything solidly in place, and it's brilliant. Going into better detail, as you can see there, the cuts between the W's even has the imitation tooling going on in it. It looks fantastic, and again, the criticisms of the V1, it just ain't good at all, really. Don't really know what else to say. There's some differences between stone sizes on here, but they're kind of minimal that you can't really, from afar you can't really tell the difference. I should point out, I don't know if I've already pointed this out because I've tried recording this twice, and one time the doorbell went, the other time my dog kind of barked at a neighbour or something, so I had to go stop it. But this might look a bit bigger on camera. They're both identical in size pretty much universally all around. It's just because this is the angle that I'm filming from, it might look a bit bigger. Guarantee you I've measured them same size. So yeah, just trying to look at some other differences and trying to remember what some people disliked about one. Again, stone sizes might be a little bit different on them. I know the red stones on the red swoosh were never liked on the V1 because they were really small and they looked a bit out of place, while on here they stand out quite nicely. I guess I'll show the back of that was just the gold tip. I'll move that off. Just flip it. Again, obviously one side plate of each is off, but there's the bolt you can see I was talking about. Fantastic, holds it together nicely. They have returned to using the sewn on simulated leather patch. As you can see, it still says Figures Toy Company, so I don't know why that is, because these were produced directly through WWE. I never actually realised that prior to this video. I'm curious about that now, but I'm pretty sure that we've all talked about on Belt Talk that Figures Inc. and WWE have parted ways, but that's kind of interesting. I'm surprised to see that on there. I might have to look into it a bit more. Maybe they changed it or something, but yeah, as you can see, there's none of these two bolts here because that's the side disc. This is the outer plate. Side disc again screws in through here and here underneath the strap. So yeah, that's pretty much this video done. I think I pretty much covered everything. I can't really think of much else that's left to cover. Again, you can see kind of how that side plate's sinking in to the outer plate completely there, and again this is perfect because it's solid, it's all held together nicely. So yeah, I'm struggling to think of anything else that's really a difference because I think I've covered everything. Like I've said, strap, it's not got as a significant a bump anymore, even there, because that's, I always hated that when re-leathering belts. It was annoying to cut around, but that's quite a lot nicer. The cut on the strap is a little bit tighter on the V2, which I think is more accurate. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this comparison video. I tried to give as much detail as I could, and if you're interested in a re-leather of the V1 or V2, contact me at paulmartinbelts@gmail.com or on my Facebook page, Paul Martin Championship Belts, links below. If you're deciding between these two, 100% go for the V2, a lot better. If you've already bought the V1, I know I've kind of ripped it to shreds in this video, but it is still a good quality replica belt. It's just not up to the accuracy standards that it should have been. So both are good. V2, if you've got the choice, get that one. This was Paul Martin Belts. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Goodbye.